Hi, my name's Dave Sanders and this is my book, Progressive Steps to Better Drumming. In chapter 12 of this book, the topic of jazz drumming is tackled. As a younger drummer, I was mystified at how jazz drummers could play so independently with each limb. So through practice and study of various books, I was able to get some level of independence. Through my teaching, I've tried, through trial and error with various students, different methods of obtaining some level of independence on the drum kit. So here's some ideas that may help. The jazz drumming ostinato most commonly would be the ride cymbal playing the swing beat, the hi-hat on 2 and 4, and possibly the bass drum playing all 4 quarter notes, very softly. So then we have the topic of comping or accompanying, the rhythms and counter rhythms that were played on the snare drum and later the bass drum and also combinations thereof. So we need to develop this independence. So my suggestion is to maintain the ostinato and play through the options that are there for you. Single notes in eighth notes in every position, 2 notes in eighth notes in every position, and so on. There's examples of this in my book on both page 45 and a more detailed explanation of the worksheets on page 140. So here's a demonstration of single notes and groups of 2 notes in each position in a bar of 4/4, played on the snare drum. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. You then may want to try a longer form. So you could use page 144 out of my book and play that on the snare drum. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do the same thing with the bass drum. Here's an example of that. The worksheet on page 140, the first 4 examples of an eighth note position. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you can use the reading text on page 144. Here's the first 4 bars played on the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next example is combining the snare drum and bass drum. For doing this, we're going to interpret the written rhythms on page 144. Eighth notes are going to be played as short notes on the snare drum. anything longer than an eighth note, so a quarter note, a dotted quarter note, an eighth note tied to a quarter note tied to an eighth note, or an eighth note tied to an eighth note, they're all long notes, and they're going to be played by the bass drum. So here's the first 4 bars of page 144 played in this method. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there you have it for now. Developing these techniques is not a license to play or overplay and fill every space there is in the music. As always, you need to listen to the greats who have established this music. In this case, drummers like Max Roach, Kenny Clark, Philly Joe Jones, Jimmy Cobb, Art Blakey, Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, the list goes on. They're the sort of drummers you want to listen to find out how they comp and accompany others in the music. Thanks for watching. If you don't have a copy of my book, feel free to purchase one. I'll always be grateful to you. All the links are below. Thanks. See you later.